Have you ever found yourself asking, why do I still feel this way? Why the emotions for someone won't fade no matter how much time passes? It's frustrating, confusing, and at times even painful. But what if those feelings aren't a punishment? What if they are a lesson? You see, we often want answers now. We want closure, clarity, and a straight path forward. But growth doesn't happen that way. The most meaningful lessons in life aren't given to us when we want them. They unfold when we are ready. God is not removing your feelings because there is something in them you are meant to understand about yourself, about love, about patience, or even about letting go. So today, let's explore not just why you still feel this way, but what you can do with those emotions to grow, to heal, and to move forward with purpose. Because in the end, it's not about what we lose, it's about what we learn. Feelings are not random occurrences. They are signals, messages, and lessons waiting to be understood. When emotions for someone persist despite efforts to move on, it is not a coincidence. There is a reason why they remain, and dismissing them as mere inconvenience ignores the deeper purpose they serve. Many times we mistake lingering emotions as an obstacle when, in reality, they are a sign that something within us still needs to be addressed. Whether it is unfinished healing, unresolved emotions, or a lesson we have yet to grasp, these feelings exist for a reason, and they will not simply disappear until their purpose has been fulfilled. Emotions are powerful forces that shape our decisions, influence our perspectives, and guide us in ways we may not even recognize. When we experience deep feelings for someone, especially those that refuse to fade, it is often because our mind and soul are still processing. It could be a connection that has left a lasting impact, a relationship that has shaped us in ways we do not yet fully understand, or even a reflection of something within ourselves that we need to confront. Instead of resisting these emotions, we must take a step back and ask, what is this feeling trying to teach me? Sometimes persistent feelings are reminders of our capacity to love. They reveal the depth of our emotions and show us that we are capable of meaningful connections. In a world that often prioritizes convenience and detachment, the ability to feel deeply is not a weakness, it is a strength. The pain, longing, or even confusion that comes with these emotions is proof that we are human, that we care, and that love in its purest form does not simply vanish because we will it to. Instead of seeing these emotions as something that must be eliminated, we can shift our perspective and recognize them as a testament to the love we have been capable of giving. There are times when unresolved emotions persist because they are tied to a lesson we have yet to learn. Perhaps the feelings remain because there is a deeper understanding we need to reach about ourselves, our desires, our fears, our patterns in relationships. If we keep finding ourselves in the same emotional cycle, it is not because we are incapable of moving on, but because we are being called to look inward and recognize what needs to change. Maybe it is learning to set boundaries, to prioritize our own well-being, or to recognize our worth outside of another person. Whatever the lesson may be, these emotions will continue to surface until we truly absorb what they are trying to teach us. Sometimes, these persistent emotions are connected to healing that has not been fully completed. We often believe that time alone should be enough to make our feelings fade. But healing is not about simply waiting. It is about actively processing, understanding, and releasing what no longer serves us. When feelings for someone remain, it may be because there are wounds that still need attention. It could be unspoken words, unresolved pain, or a need for closure that was never fully addressed. The heart does not just let go because we tell it to. It releases when it is truly ready, when it has been heard, understood, and nurtured. There are also moments when feelings persist because they are tied to a greater plan that we do not yet fully see. We are often impatient for answers, wanting clarity and closure on our own terms. But sometimes the timing of our understanding is not within our control. The emotions we carry may be preparing us for something ahead, something we are not yet ready to comprehend. What feels like an unanswered question now may later reveal itself as a crucial step in our growth, our journey, and even our future relationships. We are not always meant to know the why in the moment, but we are meant to trust that there is a purpose to what we feel. Instead of suppressing or denying emotions, we can choose to sit with them, understand them, and honor their presence. There is something within every lingering feeling that is trying to show us something important, whether about the relationship, about the person, or most importantly, about ourselves. The more we resist, the longer they may persist. The moment we begin to lean into them, to listen instead of fight, is the moment we allow them to do what they were meant to help us grow, heal, and ultimately move forward in a way that is authentic and meaningful. Discomfort is an inevitable part of growth, yet it is often the very thing we try to avoid. As human beings, we seek comfort, stability, and certainty, believing that pain or unease is something negative. However, the truth is that the most profound growth comes from discomfort, from moments that challenge us, stretch us, and force us to confront what we would rather ignore. Feelings that refuse to fade, emotions that linger longer than we expect, and situations that test our patience are not obstacles. They are catalysts for transformation. Without discomfort, there is no reason to change, no push to evolve, and no motivation to seek a deeper understanding of ourselves. When emotions for someone remain despite our efforts to move on, it can feel like an unnecessary struggle. We assume that if something was meant to leave, it should have disappeared by now. But the reason these emotions persist is because they are still serving a purpose. They are pushing us to sit in the discomfort, to ask difficult questions, and to look beyond surface-level solutions. Instead of viewing this as an inconvenience, it can be seen as an invitation, a call to explore parts of ourselves that we may have overlooked. Whether it is healing, self-awareness, or a shift in perspective, growth demands that we stay present in the discomfort long enough to uncover what needs to change. Growth does not happen when everything is easy. It happens in moments of doubt, in the spaces where we feel lost, and in the times when we are forced to navigate emotions we do not fully understand. The pain that comes with unshaken feelings is not there to break us. It is there to reveal what we are capable of enduring and overcoming. If everything in life came without struggle, there would be no depth to our experiences, no true appreciation for change, and no reason to seek something greater. The very fact that these emotions are uncomfortable means they are working. They are pushing us beyond our limits, forcing us to redefine what we think we know about ourselves and our ability to grow. Many times we try to resist discomfort because we assume it means something is wrong. But discomfort is not an enemy, it is a guide. It is the space between who we were and who we are becoming. It is the proof that we are in the process of transformation. When feelings for someone linger, and when they bring uncertainty, pain, or longing, it is easy to see them as a sign that we are stuck. But in reality, they may be the very thing leading us forward. They challenge us to let go of illusions, to break free from old patterns, and to develop a strength we may not have realized we possessed. Discomfort forces us to confront what we might otherwise ignore. It makes us look at our patterns, our reactions, and our fears. It shines a light on the areas where we still have work to do. When emotions are persistent, they are revealing something within us that needs attention. Maybe it is a belief we have about love, about self-worth, or about what we deserve. Maybe it is a pattern we keep repeating, an attachment we have yet to release, or a wound we have not. Whatever it is, discomfort demands that we face it. Growth requires awareness, and awareness often begins in the moments we wish to avoid. Instead of fighting discomfort, we can learn to sit with it. When we stop resisting and start listening, we gain clarity. The emotions that feel unbearable at first begin to reveal their lessons. They show us where we need to set boundaries, where we need to heal, and where we need to trust. The more we embrace the discomfort, the more we allow ourselves to evolve. Every moment of unease is an opportunity, a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more in tune with what truly serves us. Discomfort is not the enemy of growth. It is the pathway to it. Love is often seen as a fleeting emotion, something that comes and goes depending on circumstances, timing, or mutual effort. However, love is much more than just an experience. It is a teacher, a force that shapes who we are, how we grow, and what we understand about ourselves and the world around us. Every time we love, whether that love is reciprocated or not, we are learning something valuable. Love teaches patience, resilience, selflessness, and even the painful but necessary lessons of letting go. It is not something that exists only when it is easy. It is something that continues to impact us even when it is difficult. When feelings for someone remain, even when we wish they would disappear, it is because there is something we are meant to learn from them. Love is not simply an emotion to be felt, it is an experience that transforms us, whether we realize it in the moment or not. It teaches us what we value, what we need, and what we are willing to fight for. It shows us the depths of our capacity to care, even when it hurts. And sometimes love's greatest lessons come not from the relationships that last, but from the ones that leave us changed. Every emotion tied to love, joy, heartbreak, longing, hope, is an opportunity for self-discovery. When we fall in love, we learn what excites us, what inspires us, and what makes us feel alive. When love challenges us, we learn about our limits, our fears, and the wounds we may still carry. When love is lost, we learn about our own strength, our ability to heal, and our power to move forward. In every case, love is teaching us something, even when it feels like it is only bringing pain. There is a reason why certain emotions linger longer than others. Some feelings come and go quickly because their lessons are simple. But the emotions that stay, the ones that refuse to fade, are the ones that are tied to deeper growth. They are asking us to look within, to reflect, and to truly understand what they are trying to show us. If love has left a mark on us, it is because it was meant to. The people who come into our lives, whether for a moment or for years, are not there by accident. Each connection holds meaning, and the emotions that follow are there to reveal something significant. Love also teaches us about acceptance. There are moments when we want to control our emotions, to force ourselves to move on faster, or to make sense of why we still care. But love does not work that way. It cannot be rushed, manipulated, or forced into a timeline that fits our expectations. Instead, it asks us to surrender, to trust that there is a purpose behind our emotions, even if we do not see it yet. Learning to accept what we feel rather than fight it is part of love's lesson. It teaches us to be patient with ourselves, to honor our emotions rather than suppress them, and to trust that every feeling serves a greater purpose. Love also reveals the truth about our own growth. The way we love changes over time, shaped by our experiences, our past relationships, and the lessons we have learned along the way. The feelings we hold on to may be showing us not just something about the person we love, but about how we have evolved. Maybe they reveal how much we were willing to give, how deeply we were affected, or how much we have changed since that love first began. Every time we love, we gain a new perspective, a new understanding of what love truly means. Even unrequited love or love that did not work out the way we hoped has its lessons. It teaches us about resilience, about the ability to care without expecting something in return, and about the strength it takes to hold on to emotions while still choosing to move forward. It teaches us that love is not just about happy endings, but about the journey of self-discovery that comes with it. Love is never wasted, even if it does not lead to the outcome we envisioned. It leaves us wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the love that is still to come. Letting go is often misunderstood as a single act, something that happens in an instant when we decide to move on. In reality, letting go is an internal process, something that unfolds over time and in layers. It is not about forcing ourselves to forget or suppress what we feel, but rather about reaching a point where we no longer carry the same emotional weight. True letting go is not about pushing emotions away. It is about making peace with them, allowing them to exist without letting them define or control us. It is a gradual journey that requires patience, self-awareness, and a willingness to sit with discomfort. Many times, when we struggle to let go, it is because we are waiting for something external to happen. We hope for closure, for an apology, for a moment that will make everything suddenly feel resolved. But external events do not dictate true healing. The process of releasing someone or something from our emotional grip comes from within. It happens when we begin to detach from the expectations, the stories we have told ourselves, and the idea that we need something outside of us to bring us peace. Letting go is an internal shift, one that happens when we decide to stop holding on to what no longer serves us. Emotions do not disappear just because we decide they should. They linger when there is something unresolved within us, something that still needs to be acknowledged or understood. The process of letting go requires us to be honest with ourselves, to confront the reasons why we are still attached. Sometimes it is because we are holding on to hope, believing that things could have been different. Other times, it is because we have tied our sense of worth or identity to a person or experience. Whatever the reason, we cannot truly release something until we understand why it has remained in the first place. Letting go also requires us to release the illusion of control. We often believe that if we hold on tightly enough, if we keep replaying memories or analyzing what went wrong, we can somehow change the outcome. But the past is unchangeable, and the more we resist reality, the more we prolong our own suffering. Acceptance is a crucial step in the process of letting go. It does not mean that we approve of what happened or that we are happy about it. It simply means that we acknowledge it for what it is without trying to rewrite the past or force a different ending. The journey of letting go is not linear. There will be days when it feels like progress is being made, when the emotions seem lighter and the attachment less intense. And then there will be moments when the feelings return unexpectedly, when a memory or a small trigger brings everything rushing back. This does not mean that no progress has been made. It simply means that healing happens in waves, that emotions rise and fall, and that every time we navigate through them, we are moving closer to true release. The key is not to judge ourselves for how long it takes, but to trust that with each passing moment, we are learning how to carry less. Letting go is also about shifting focus. When we are consumed by emotions for someone, it is easy to let them take up space in our thoughts, our energy, and our lives. The process of moving on involves redirecting that energy back to ourselves, to our own growth, passions, and well-being. Instead of asking why we still feel this way, we can begin to ask how we can use these emotions to better understand ourselves. What is this teaching us about our needs, our patterns, our strengths? The more we focus inward, the less power the past has over us. One of the most important aspects of letting go is self-compassion. Too often we judge ourselves for still feeling attached, as if emotions should follow a strict timeline. But healing is deeply personal, and there is no right or wrong way to navigate it. Being gentle with ourselves, allowing ourselves to feel without guilt or shame, and recognizing that every emotion serves a purpose is essential. Letting go is not about erasing the past. It is about integrating the experience in a way that allows us to move forward with peace rather than pain. Trusting in divine timing is one of the hardest lessons to embrace, especially when emotions linger and answers do not come as quickly as we would like. As human beings, we crave certainty. We want to know why we feel the way we do, how long it will last, and when we will finally move on. But life does not operate on our schedules, and neither does healing. Some emotions take longer to process because they are meant to teach us something deeper, something that cannot be rushed. The timing of our understanding, our growth, and even our ability to let go is not random. It unfolds exactly as it is meant to, even when it feels frustrating or unclear. When we struggle with unresolved emotions, it is easy to assume that we should have moved on by now, that we are doing something wrong by still feeling attached. But just because something is taking longer than expected does not mean it is not happening. Growth is not always visible in the moment. There are shifts taking place beneath the surface, realizations that are forming, and strength that is being built, even when it does not feel that way. Trusting in divine timing means recognizing that healing is happening, even when we cannot see the full picture. Patience is one of the greatest challenges in life, especially when we are dealing with emotions that feel overwhelming. It is tempting to want to force closure, to try and speed up the process of moving on. But forced healing is not true healing. Just like a wound cannot be rushed without risking further damage, emotional wounds need time to fully heal. When we trust in divine timing, we begin to understand that there is a reason for the delays, for the lingering emotions, and for the unanswered questions. There are insights we have not yet discovered, lessons we are still absorbing, and perspectives we have not yet reached. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if we do not understand why in the moment. Many times we look back on past experiences and realize that things worked out in ways we never expected. What once felt like endless pain eventually made sense. What seemed unfair or confusing at the time later revealed itself as necessary for our growth. The same is true for the emotions we struggle with today. We may not yet understand why we still feel a certain way, but at some point the clarity will come. The timing of that clarity, however, is not something we control. It arrives when we are truly ready to receive it, not when we demand it. Trusting in divine timing also means surrendering the need for immediate answers. When we hold on too tightly to the desire for closure or resolution, we create resistance. The more we fight our emotions, the stronger they seem to become. But when we surrender, when we accept that we are exactly where we need to be, we create space for natural healing to take place. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means allowing things to unfold as they are meant to, rather than trying to control every outcome. There is a reason why some emotions last longer than others. Some lessons are easy to grasp, while others require time, patience, and deeper reflection. Instead of resenting the process, we can begin to trust that the timing of our healing is purposeful. Every delay, every lingering emotion, every unanswered question is serving us in ways we do not yet realize. When we trust that we are being guided, that our emotions have meaning, and that we will understand everything when the time is right, we begin to find peace even in uncertainty. Healing does not come with a deadline. It does not follow a predictable path or adhere to our expectations. It is a journey, one that unfolds uniquely for each person. The emotions we experience, the time it takes to process them, and the lessons we learn along the way are all part of something greater. Every unresolved feeling, every difficult moment, and every unanswered question is leading us somewhere, toward deeper understanding, toward personal growth, and toward the wisdom that only time can provide. Moving forward does not mean forgetting or erasing the past. It means choosing to carry it differently. When we hold on to emotions for someone, especially when we do not understand why, it can feel like we are stuck in place. We question why we still feel the same, why our hearts refuse to let go, and why time has not healed us as quickly as we expected. But moving forward is not about waking up one day and suddenly feeling nothing. It is about learning to live with those emotions in a way that no longer holds us back. It is about transforming our pain into wisdom, our longing into acceptance, and our experiences into something meaningful. The first step to moving forward is acceptance. Many people believe that in order to heal, they must first force themselves to stop feeling. But emotions do not work that way. The more we resist them, the more they persist. Acceptance means acknowledging what we feel without judgment, without trying to rush the process, and without seeing our emotions as something to be ashamed of. It means understanding that just because we still care, just because we still feel, it does not mean we are failing. It simply means we are human. Healing begins the moment we stop fighting what is and start allowing ourselves to feel without resistance. Growth happens when we shift our perspective. Instead of asking, why am I still feeling this way, we can begin to ask, what is this feeling trying to teach me? Every emotion has a message, a purpose, and a reason for being present. If certain feelings remain, it is because there is still something to learn from them. Maybe it is about self-worth, about understanding the kind of love we truly deserve, or about recognizing patterns that we need to break. Maybe it is about learning patience, resilience, or the ability to stand on our own. Whatever the lesson may be, emotions that linger are guiding us towards something deeper. Moving forward is also about reclaiming our power. When we fixate on the past, on what was or what could have been, we give away our energy to something we can no longer change. But we do have control over how we choose to respond. We can choose to focus on what we have gained rather than what we have lost. We can choose to see this experience not as something that broke us, but as something that shaped us. Every moment of pain carries the potential for transformation, but only if we allow it to be a source of strength rather than suffering. Healing does not mean we will never feel sadness again, nor does it mean we will wake up one day completely detached from our past. It means that when we think about what happened, when we remember the people who once meant so much, it no longer weighs us down in the same way. The memories may remain, but they lose their power to hurt us. Instead of being a source of pain, they become part of the story that brought us to where we are now. They become reminders of how much we have grown, how much we have endured, and how much we are capable of overcoming. One of the most powerful ways to move forward is by focusing on the present. Often we get so caught up in the past or so worried about the future that we forget to live in the moment. But healing happens now, in the choices we make today. It happens when we choose to invest in ourselves, when we pursue things that bring us joy, and when we allow ourselves to be fully present in our own lives. Moving forward is not about waiting for time to heal us. It is about actively creating a life that is fulfilling, even with the emotions we carry. Choosing to move forward is an act of self-love. It is a decision to no longer let the past dictate our future. It is recognizing that we are allowed to feel, to grieve, and to take our time, but that we are also allowed to move on, to be happy, and to find peace. We do not have to wait for the emotions to disappear before we begin to live again. We simply have to decide that we are ready to move forward, even if we are still carrying pieces of the past with us.